Hello again, guys, and welcome back to race 2 of round 9 from the Midnight Oil Racing League's GT7 Championship at Catalunya this week. Obviously, grid set by qualifying results once again. So Thomas lines up on pole with Wendy in second place, Blood Diamond third, Ice Chand in fourth, Mawson in fifth, Dan Bailey sixth, Vexed in seventh, Pickle in eighth, Clutch in ninth, and Asbo starts in 10th place. So without further ado, shall we get into it? So we had some cracking battles as well in that first race. Let's hope it continues into the final race of the evening. The klaxon sounds and they're off. Mawson dead on the line again. It looked like Dan Bailey getting a bit of a better getaway, but Vexed got a position for 3 there, up into 6th place, and Clutch actually manages to move through up into 7th and actually gets past Vex momentarily. Oh, this is very congested coming into turn 1. Wayne G leads the field. Thomas is there in second place. Ice Chan now in third. Blood Diamond is in fourth. We have Dan Bailey and Vex having a battle in the background there. 5th and 6th. Dan Bailey getting a better getaway that time round. Under pressure though from Vexed. Then we have Asbo and Clutch. Asbo, Clutch, Pickle and Mawson all fighting in the background there. Asbo gets the move done on Clutch up into 7th place. Vex getting a move done on Dan Bailey. Is Dan Bailey going to have a look up the inside through this next left-hander? No, not quite able to get it done. So up ahead we have Blood Diamond chasing down Ice Chand, who is now in third place. Thomas only losing 1 position off the start that time. Second place is where he sits at the moment. Wenny G is in first. And Thomas actually going for the softs in the first stint this time round. Ice Chand is on the mediums. We have Blood Diamond on softs. Vexed is on mediums. Dan Bailey's on the hards. We have Asbo on racing softs, followed by Clutch there on the mediums. Mawson is also on mediums, and then Pickle on the mediums. Mawson really closing up to the rear bumper there of Clutch. As Pickle looked like he went a little bit wide in the background there. Bit of a weird line. Oh, it's Mawson up the inside. There wasn't a lot of space there. Clutch going to have the inside for the next one into the chicane. So Mawson drops back down into 8th, into 9th, down to 10th as Pickle comes back alongside. But then Mawson somehow retakes the position on the exit of the final turn. And we're on to the start finish once again. So up ahead we now have Vexed and Ice Chan having a bit of a battle. And then we also have Blood Diamond, Thomas and Wayne G also locked in battle ahead. Oh, and Thomas opens the door there to Blood Diamond. Blood Diamond almost up the inside through the right-hander. Wayne G with half a second's penalty. That's going to drop him surely behind Thomas. Thomas who keeps that second place for the meantime. And Wayne G's penalty bar started to fill up. He will surely lose that position to Thomas once he does have to serve that penalty. Thomas has kept that gap very close indeed, and he does sail through up the inside. Not really a lot Wayne G could do there. He couldn't really defend it. Down into second place now. That's released Thomas. What can Thomas do on that soft compound tyre? Can he create a gap like Wayne G did in the first race? So Blood Diamond sat in third place at the moment on the racing softs as well. Ice Chan has started to close that gap. Actually created a bit of a gap back to Vex now as well. What happened to Vex there? Vex must have had a moment through the final sector. Lost a couple of attempts to 4th place Chand. Check back in with them guys in a minute. Oh, there's Mawson up the inside of Asbo there. Almost managed to get a move done. Asbo holds on to that 7th place for the minute. Mawson up the inside once again. Wait, what? What just happened? Well, we've got to have a look at this one. So we'll find Mawson. So we're on board with Mawson. Come through the left-hander. I'm not too sure what happened there. It looked like there just wasn't enough gap for two cars to get through there. Asbo, the unfortunate bystander in that. I think he tried to turn into the corner, but Mawson was already there, and I think Mawson obviously couldn't move over anymore because of where he was on track, so it just ended up with them two having a coming together. Asbo has come out worse out of that, which is unfortunate. I think we'll let the stewards deal with that one. To me, it looked like a racing incident, but just some hard racing. Wayne G has closed back up to Thomas once again. Also has Blood Diamond for company though. Ice Chand not far behind. And then we have Vexed in fifth still. Vexed still working to try and close that gap. Dan Bailey finds himself in no man's land at the moment. Some way off the back of Vexed in the McLaren, but also somewhere ahead of Clutch in the Ferrari. Clutch who's now defending to Mawson in the Ford GT. Mawson, who also has Pickle for company there in ninth. Looking for the better exit at the final turn. Looks like he may have to run down the start finish. Will he go for a move into turn one? He's pulled out along the inside now. He may get it done before the turn. And he does. He moves up into 7th place now. Clutch is down into 8th. Pickle still there in 9th. And actually starting to close the gap to Clutch there. And Mawson can see Dan Bailey ahead now. That's going to give him some incentive. It's going to inspire him to try and get onto the back of the Subaru. Vex still trying to keep in touch with the top 4. He's a couple of seconds back at this stage. Wow, definitely had another moment somewhere, but I'm not putting it off track as yet, like he did in the first race. But look at this 3-car battle for 2nd place. We've got Ice Champ, Blood Diamond, and Wayne G. All trying to battle it out for that 2nd place. All within a few tenths of each other. Thomas has started to gap them. Blood Diamond looks ever so unstable through that final chicane. Doesn't seem to lose too much pace though. Thinks about a move up the inside. Wasn't quite close enough. Is that compromised him to Chan behind in 4th? But no, it hasn't. But how long are the softs going to last on that Ferrari? I think he's going to have to be in the next lap or 2, isn't he? Tried his utmost to get the move done. Both cars on the same compound. Wayne G's just look a little bit better at this stage, and Blood Diamond's lost a bit of time there. Ice Chand has crept right back onto the back of him once again. It's just a difference in tyres at this stage, I think. So Ice Chand is trying to set one up the inside, having sneaky little nibbles. I think Blood Diamond's going to hit him at the end of this lap. I think he's going to have to get rid of them tyres. Look, that front left is almost ready to fall off the car. And Vex has started to creep back in there as well. So the top 5 have closed up once again. And Ice Chan does look for the move up the inside there. Blood Diamond just going a little bit deep into the left-hander. That has given Vex the opportunity needed to try and get onto the back of the top 4 as well. Look at how much he's closed. Is Vex going to be able to get the move done as well? Surely Blood Diamond's got to be into the pits this time. Oh, and there we go, Vexed with a move. Blood Diamond just opened the door. Vex said, thank you very much. I will go through there. Up into 4th place now. And in fact, up into 3rd. So Thomas stays out on that very heavily worn set of soft tyres. They are going to be very dead by the time he does go to the pits. Ice Chand up into 2nd place on the mediums. Vexed up into 3rd. Dan Bailey settles for 4th at the minute. Look at the gap come down between him and Mawson though. Mawson has closed that gap and he's brought Clutch with him. So Dan Bailey on the hard tyre. Definitely lacking a bit of pace on them hards. Maybe that was a bad strategy call for Dan. Perhaps he just didn't fancy the medium softs, couldn't quite make him last long enough. But this is the situation he finds himself in. He's now got the mean green 4GT of Mawson bearing down on him. How long is he going to be able to keep that car behind? And as I say, Clutch as well. Clutch in the mix there, in 6th place. Just needs to try and keep in that tow, in the slipstream of Mawson ahead, and he may be able to get a move done on Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey does look like he's struggling at the moment on that hard compound. And there we go, Mawson gets shown the long way round. Can he get the switch back here? We've seen him do it before. Not on that occasion. And look how much Clutch is closed up through the final chicane. Oh my gosh. These three having a really good battle at the moment. So Thomas is into the pits. That's released Vexed up into 2nd place now. Chand is up into the lead of the race. And who's that? Wait, Clutch, no! Clutch at the moment. What in fact happened to Clutch? So Clutch was following the 2 cars ahead. We're into this right-hander. Oh, I think it was through the chicane. Oh no, just a little bit too much on the gas there. Just drifts out onto the grass. That was all she wrote. So Mawson really closed up onto the back of that Subaru now. We're surely going to see a move come into turn 1. Dan Bailey up into 3rd place. Mawson's up into 4th. Thomas gets rid of that soft compound tyre. He'll be out on a fresh set of tyres. There goes Mawson up into 3rd place. Now Dan Bailey looking for the switchback. It looked like he thought better of defending that move and just moved out of the way. But look how much time he's lost now, Dan. Come on, Dan. Mawson free to try and close that gap to the top 2 now. And how close is the gap between Chand and Vexed? So yeah, still pretty close between these two. This might actually be Vex's best performance of the season so far around Catalunya. So Mawson has some distance to close to the 2 cars ahead, but he's got a nice bit of breathing space over Dan Bailey in 4th now. Wayne G's out on a fresh set of mediums. He's going to be looking to try and close the gap to the top 4. Then we have Clutch, who at that moment, that was unlucky Clutch, finds himself in 6th place again. Thomas back out on a fresh set of hards. What's he going for the hards for? Thomas, what are you doing? Blood is on the medium tyres, and they're a few laps old now. Pickle, I think still yet to pit. And Asbo on a fresh set of mediums. So Dan Bailey into the pits now. That's released Wayne G up into 4th place. At the moment we're on board with Ice Chan. When will he decide to pit? I think they're going to be going for another couple of laps. The mediums have definitely got more life left in them. Oh, Vex going a little bit deep in the background there. Maybe Vex starting to suffer a little bit with the tyre wear. Trying to keep that gap consistent to Chand ahead. Actually losing a couple of attempts through that last couple of turns. But like closing up through the braking zone into the sharp left-hander, almost a hairpin that one. Trying to kiss the apex there on the inside. It's going to be a little bit of a weird sector, this final one. Final chicane can be a little bit sketchy indeed, especially on the exit here. The rear tyres just want to break traction on the exit. I don't think we actually see anyone lose it around that final turn though in this race, so how far behind is Mawson? Mawson only just coming up to the start finish now. That's how far behind he is at this stage. Will Chand and Vex get a free pit stop? I'm not too sure. Mawson definitely has his work cut out though. So Pickle is now into the pits. Wayne G with the fastest lap on lap 8, a 147.773. Just see Mawson creeping into shot there. Which again is going to give him some incentive to try and close that gap. You can see the car ahead. What can he do? Went for the fairly early pit stop, softs in the first stint. He's got a long way to go on that medium compound tyre. Another 14, no. Another 9 minutes. Thomas on the hard compound, what can he do here? So Ice Chand and Vex are both into the pits now. Where will they come out? Is Mawson going to follow him in, or will he stay out and favour track position, become new race leader? We're about to find out. He does peel into the pits. So that releases Wayne G once again into the lead of the race. But where are Vex and Chand going to come out? I think they're emerging from the pits now. But Thomas actually managing to move up into second place. Is Blood Diamond going to come through as well? And when he does so, Ice Chand just coming out of the pits now. He's got 3 seconds penalty, Chand! No! Nice bit of a gap back to Vex, but that 3 seconds is going to bring that gap down to nothing. Vex just has to bide his time there, try and play a patient game. The gap back to Mawson is quite substantial, so he's not got to worry about Mawson going for any moves. Mawson still with Dan Bailey for company, clutch out on a fresh set of softs. Asbo has managed to get back past Pickle. And Pickle, oh obviously Pickle had to go for a pit stop, didn't he? He's out on a fresh set of softs now. So Whaley G looking good to make it 2 out of 2 at the moment. Still early doors in this final race though. We've still got another 7 minutes to go. We've got Ice Chand serving that penalty in the background as if Vex going to be able to come through, and he does. He moves up into 4th place. Can he get onto the back of Blood Diamond? And crucially, can he stay ahead of Chand? He's doing an absolutely fantastic job at the moment. As I say, I think the best race so far for Vex this season. In the penultimate round, finally gets the grips with the McLaren. Blood Diamond, how long can he hold that third place for? You can see Vex starting to bear down on them, down the start finish, on the approach to turn one. I think just aided by the softer compound tyre, just closing up through the braking zone. Dan Bailey now into the pits. And looking at that on board, Jace, I'm not sure if your inputs are still a little bit... Perhaps you need to dial in your feedback still, because everyone else's driver's hands are fairly smooth, but yours looked a little bit erratic. Now, I'm not sure if that is... Oh, Vex trying to go for the move around the outside. He's going to be able to get the switch back. He's closed that gap. He has closed that gap. He's hungry for that third place. Blood Diamond doing all he can to keep him behind at the moment. Oh, and he drives off track. He drives off track. That's going to allow Vex through. Vex up into third place. Jason is going to lose that move to lose position to Ice Chand as well. Ice Chand around the outside through the sweeping right-hander. That was a brave move there from Chand. Just had to kick the boot in. So Blood Diamond down into fifth place now, and he is starting to suffer with the tyre wear. You can see he's definitely getting understeer on that Ferrari. So what can Ice Chand do here now? Can he try and take third place away from Vex? Has Vex got enough in them tyres to defend? And how much has Thomas closed to Wayne G? Look at the gap. Look how much has come down. But Wayne G on the softer compound tyre. Ice Chand now with the fastest lap, 1:47.038. So Wayne G still in first place. Got Thomas in second. Vex is now in third, being chased down by Ice Chand in fourth. Then we have Blood Diamond in fifth. We've got Mawson in sixth place. Clutch is in seventh. Asbo eighth. Pickle in ninth. Dan Bailey is now in 10th. And where was that? There it is. There it is. Ice Chand really started to put the pressure now onto Vex. Vex having to drive a defensive game, or play a defensive game. He's throwing them shapes. Try to make that McLaren as wide as he possibly can as Chand closes up once again through the braking zone. And Vex a little bit wide through that corner. Didn't open up for Chand to get the move done. Keeps the momentum. Closing right up through that braking zone once again. Vex getting the better exit though. Nicely through the final sector. Oh, Chand with a bit of a moment on the exit. Maybe got a little bit too much of that inside curb. Just unsettled the car somewhat. So Chand's fastest lap was on lap 13, a 1:47.038. Into the final 2.5 minutes now of this race. Chand wants a position, he's got to try and get it sewn up soon. Just checking in with Thomas, see how close he is now to Wayne G. And we can just see there. Still a few seconds behind. Have Wayne G's tyres died a bit of a death though? He's going to be able to hold on to the lead of the race. Might turn into a battle through the final few turns. doing a good job at the moment of commanding this race. Oh, and Chan close again. Is he going to be able to go for the move into turn one? Or will he get it done through the final chicane? Vet's going to cover the inside, or is he going to stay on the racing line? And he stays on the racing line, so Chan goes for the move now up the inside into turn one. Gets the move done, but Vex is still almost alongside, almost retakes that position. Chan up into third place. Are his tyres going to hold on though? Look how close Vex is. Look, he's closing that back up once again, looking for the move. Chan covers the inside into the right-hander. Oh, and he's gone deep. It's that open door once again. And it has. So Vexed is back alongside. Retakes that third place. Can he get it sewn up? And he does. Moves through. I think Chan's tyres have just died a bit of a death. But we have got to go on board with the top two. Oh, actually, no, some way from the start finish yet. This might be it here. Vex may have actually found himself on the podium. His tyres doing just enough in the final stages of this race. But Wayne G is going to keep this. He's going to make it 2 out of 2 here. It looks like he may do. Through the final couple of turns now, Thomas is going to have to find something special to be able to close that gap. And look how close he is. I think Wayne G has done just enough in the Mazda RX Vision. He's going to make it 2 out of 2 here. And he does crosses the line to take the checkered flag and the win in the second race of the evening. Thomas comes second once again. Vexed. This will be his best position of the season, best finishing position. Manages to find himself on the podium. Ice Chan holds off Blood Diamond to take fourth. Blood Diamond takes fifth. Mawson, I think he had a bit of a moment through the final turn there. Doesn't have to worry though, no one very close to him. Picks up a second's worth of penalty, but that isn't going to hurt him. He finishes in 6th. It's a clutch. Clutch through the final turn. He will cross the line and take 7th place. Asbo actually not too far behind Clutch at the end there. He's going to take 8th. And there he goes. And Dan Bailey finishes in 9th place. Pickle will finish in 10th. And that was round 9, guys. We'll be back with a final round next week. I will see you then.